Hey everyone, welcome to You Can Automate. In this session, we are going to learn about how to manage different agents. In real-time system, we end up creating many agents, but to manage agents, we need a really very good logic, and that becomes a very important phase to manage your agents so that it can execute the query whatever you have given. In this session, we are going to see how to manage agents using CrewAI. Topics covered in this session are what is hierarchical pattern in multi-agent system. By using hierarchical pattern, we are going to manage our agents which we are going to create, and what is the exact difference between the parallel pattern and hierarchical pattern. Parallel pattern which we have learned in the previous session. If you have not watched the previous video, you can go and check it. Link is given in the description. And then we are going to implement this hierarchical pattern, that is nothing but adding a manager to the agent system using a CrewAI. First thing is, what is hierarchical pattern? Hierarchical pattern is a manager agent that acts as a brain of the crew. It understands the user request, breaks down into a subtask, delegates them to a right specialist agents. This could be any number of agents, evaluates the results and decides the next steps until the goal is achieved. In the previous session, we have learned about how to execute agent in parallel. For each agent, we had a different task. To understand this one in a better way, let's see the diagram so that we'll get a clear understanding of what is hierarchical pattern. This is the flow diagram of parallel multi-agent system which we have seen in the previous session, where user input comes and we have a multiple agents that runs in parallel. Then we can have a different agents which runs in sequential. If you take a hierarchical pattern workflow diagram, this is how it looks like. Whenever there is a user input comes, it comes to first manager agent, and manager agent will have a manager task that is going to decide which agent is going to perform which task. And if you observe here, each agent doesn't have any of the specific tasks, just there is an agent, that's it. This manager task is going to take care of everything. It divides or it breaks down the problem statement into multiple parts. Then based on the agent name and the details what you have created, based on that it will start assigning the task and it will take the result. Then it will decide which step to call the next. If you take a look here, each agent has a specific task in a parallel system, but if you take a look in this hierarchical pattern, there is no separate task for each agent. There is only one single task, that is manager task. That is the biggest difference. This manager agent acts as a delegate for any given query. Let's see the key differences between the parallel and hierarchical pattern. In the parallel pattern, the control will be in the developer side. While writing a code, we can decide which agent to execute in parallel, which should execute in sequential. If you take a look on hierarchical pattern here, manager agent decides everything. It controls the entire flow. Flexibility, there is a low flexibility because everything is predefined here. But in hierarchical pattern, manager agent can decide which agent to execute on which task. Task delegation in the parallel pattern, it is very static, predefined flow which we create. Based on that only every query goes through. But in the hierarchical pattern, it will be decided based on the manager. That will be decided dynamic. And when this is best suitable for is independent and well-defined task. But hierarchical pattern is when the task is very complex, multi-step or open-ended task, then you can go for this. Decision making, here decision maker will be a developer, but here manager will decide everything. Scalability, it is limited as the agents will be limited and agents will work according to the predefined workflow. But in the hierarchical pattern, it is scalability is very high. You can add agents or remove agents very easily. If you take an example of travel planner with a hierarchical pattern, manager understands the trip requirement. It decides about the flight, hotel, food information, delegates the respective agents. After collecting the details, it creates an itinerary, then checks the budget, finalize the plan. So then finally it returns the complete travel plan to the user. So when to use what? Use parallel pattern when tasks are independent, process is very clear and fixed. You know the steps in advance. Example, collecting the prices from multiple travel sites. And when to go for this hierarchical pattern is task is very complex and the big steps are not known in advance, so that you can assign the task dynamically based on the query. Requires reasoning and decisions. Every time whenever there is a result comes or the query comes, manager agent will think on it, then it will take a decision. Example, end-to-end travel planning. So end-to-end travel planning will be the best example for using the hierarchical pattern. If you take a look on the summary, parallel pattern, you plan the work because you define the entire workflow here as a developer. But in the hierarchical pattern, manager plans the entire work. Hierarchical brings the intelligence, flexibility, adaptability to your multi-agent system. Now let's get into the coding part. This is a repo which we have created created in the previous sessions. Here I have copied the same folder and have renamed with as a hierarchical pattern folder. Inside that I have added the agents, and if you take a look here, the same code I have copied and I have modified a little bit here. I will walk you through what are the modifications which I have done. This is the same as in the previous session, how to create the LLM. So I have created the LLM here, and this is the model which I am using. After that, we need to create a manager agent. This is very important concept as the approach is very similar. So I have copied the code already so that we can save some time in the session. So here I have created the manager agent. So this is very important, right? In the manager agent, how it looks like: role is senior travel manager, and goal is that analyze the travel request, decide which specialists should work, coordinate their work, validate the results, and deliver the best travel plan. So backstory is you are the team leader of the AI travel agency, and this is very important. You never perform specialist work yourself. So this manager is not going to work on any of the query. Work of this manager agent is to just to delegate the work to a different agent. So instead, you understand the customer request, decide which expert should handle each task. Here expert means agent. Review the quality of the every response, request the additional work when necessary, combine everything into one final travel plan. So here I'm assigning the LLM verbose equals to true, and here there is one new parameter which we are passing, that is allow underscore delegation equals to true. That means this particular manager agent should delegate the work to the different agents. So that's why this flag will be true. And after that, we are going to create the different agents. This is same as the previous agent where I'm going to create different agent for attractive places to find the attractive places. Here I'm making allow underscore delegation equals to false. That means this particular agent should not delegate the work. Instead, it should work on the task. Similarly, I've created the hotel agent, allow underscore delegation equals to false. Similarly for food agent and itinerary agent, budget agent. So here all 6 agents got created. Then comes the task. So here, as we have seen in this diagram, only manager will have the task. Rest of the agents will not have any of the tasks. So here I'm creating the task, that is travel underscore task. Here I'm writing as plan a complete trip to a destination. Duration is this, budget, and all the preferences which I'm passing. So expected output is a complete travel plan including itinerary, accommodation, food recommendation, and budget analysis. This is the only one task which we are going to create here, and here we are going to create a crew. Crew is travel crew hierarchical, and inside the crew I'm passing all the agents which I have created here, and here I'm passing the manager agent. This is the new parameter which we have it. If we want to achieve the hierarchical pattern, we need to pass manager underscore agent equals to manager. This is the agent which we have created above, and the task. What is a task? This particular manager is going to do it. So here I'm mentioning the travel underscore task. Then process equals to process dot hierarchical. We need to mention this is very important, and verbose equals to true. This is about the agents and the task. So if you go to a main, this is similar, exactly similar to the previous session. Here I'm adding some print statement here. What are the different agents which I have it? And after that, travel underscore crew dot hierarchical dot kickoff. Here again I am sending my request. That's it about the coding part. Now let's run this particular code and see how it looks like. So agent execution got started here. CrewAI is available. Crew execution started, and the task is started. Plan a complete trip to Paris. This is the manager agent. It says that senior a travel manager, and all the tasks which this particular manager has got it, and it says that tool execution started. If you see here, delegate underscore work to a coworker. So here it is delegating, the manager is delegating the work to a different agent. The task is research the popular attractions, historical sites, and landmarks in Paris that cater to history, culture, food, photography for 7-day trip. Context is the trip is to Paris. Similarly, the second delegation is started for different agent, right? It says that find suitable accommodation. This is for hotel. Third agent also started. It says that research food recommendation. 3 agent execution got started, and the 4th agent is analyze the budget. Here it is not displaying any of the agent name. It is just saying that delegate a work to coworker, because here there is no specific fixed agent to work on a specific task. Manager can assign any task to any of the agent. So it says that analyze the budget for the complete trip. Then first agent which is started is hotel researcher. Agent started. So attraction researcher agent started. Budget analyst also started. Food agent also started. Final answer which is coming from the first agent is that is budget analyst. Here it is saying that this is the final answer, and what is the budget which we have it, and it is giving a complete plan within this particular budget. So accommodation you need to spend this much, and for food you need to spend this much amount, and for transportation how much amount it takes, and for attractions how much you are going to spend. All those details it is giving. That is coming from the budget agent. Then it says that tool execution got completed, and the same result is printing here. Then we have got the second answer. that is from the food agent. It is saying that what are different food you can avail here. So day one, it says that this is the food and you can go for this restaurant and all the details about that, and it is providing the budget also. Day two, what food you can look for. Similarly, for all the days 7 till day 7, you have all the details. So similarly, tool execution got completed here and entire result is printing here again. Now hotel researcher, different hotels, right? We got the answer from hotel agent. What are different hotels available and all the details about that hotel also mentioning here. The next agent is attraction researcher. It is finding all the beautiful places to visit for 7-day trip, and it is giving complete plan that day one you need to go for this particular place, that is morning, afternoon. Similarly for day 2 and till day 7, all the details are mentioned, different good places to visit Paris. So that particular task also got completed and all the details got printed again. And it says that tool delegation work to co-worker executed with the result. Certainly here is a comprehensive itinerary for 7-day trip to Paris, right? And all the focusing, what are the preferences which you have asked, that is printed here. This is the final answer which is coming from the manager. So here it says that senior travel manager, it combined all the details, all the result from all the different agents, then it is giving the final plan. So this is the complete details, which is the summary of all the agents results. And here we are printing all the details again. Here again we are combining all the agents results, agents responses, and combining and printing here in the end. So this is about the hierarchical pattern, how to add a manager in a multi-agent system. One thing you need to remember here is allow underscore delegation equals to true. You need to make it, and there is no specific task for each agent. You are going to create one single task which is common for entire multi-agent system. I'll push this particular code in the GitHub repo. Take a look, try this, and let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.